In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the end of the year and planning for working with other people. Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. As always, before we jump in, I want to just give a quick intro to Jane, the podcast sponsor. Jane is a clinic management software and EMR, and I have a quick message from them. Waiting on hold isn't anyone's idea of time well spent, especially when you're busy providing exceptional care to your patients and clients and running your clinic. The Jane team knows how valuable your time is, and that's why they work hard to keep call wait times to an average of 2 minutes. This means you can get quick answers to your clinic questions and head into your weekend with one less task on your to-do list. Plus, unlimited phone, email, and live chat support from their team of friendly humans is included in every Jane subscription. So no matter where you're at in your Jane journey, they're always there to lend a hand. To see how you can help take back your time, personal time that is, or clinic management time, head to the show notes. You can jump on the Meet Jane app link and you can book a one-on-one demo or use my code LEX1MO. That's LEX1MO at sign up for a 1-month grace period applied to your new Jane account. And just so you know and are aware, one of the reasons I switched to Jane when I was running the practice is because of the customer service. So I can personally speak to the fact that their customer service is the best. As always, a huge thank you to Jane for sponsoring Up in My Business. Welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. This is episode number 99. The next episode will be episode 100, and I am, I think, fully committed to doing video for the next, I'm going to say, episode 101 and on. So stay tuned for that. If you're someone who watches podcasts, I don't know how interesting it'll be. I sit in my office and do this, so it's not like it's exciting, but anyway. We'll always start with personal business updates, personal stuff. Honestly, it's just busy. I will be honest, super busy right now with work because I am taking time off. So I'm trying to close up some projects and really wrap it up before the holidays, but I know it's not going to happen with everything. So I am taking time off. I will be traveling, or we will be traveling to my family for Christmas celebrations, but we're not celebrating on Christmas, which is new. Christmas Eve means a lot to my mom. So it's important for us to go there for Christmas, and we spend Thanksgiving with Shantae's family, but really excited for the upcoming travel that we have. And we'll be back Christmas Eve. So we'll get to wake up in our house on Christmas morning. And I think I've always kind of been a sucker for Christmas morning. I do enjoy waking up in the house, and we don't have plans, obviously. It'll be just, us and the kids. But really excited to spend my Christmas morning with Shantae and Rupert and Moose. Business stuff, which we'll talk a little bit about today, but business stuff, I've said this for 3 months now, but I'm booking out. So definitely booking into January, and then I will be booking into February, March for do it in a days and what have you. But and we'll talk more about this, but just know if you're scheduling a discovery call with me, it's going to be in late January. And also next episode, so episode 100 is going to be talking about my word of the year, which I am so happy with the word that I chose last year. So I am looking forward to really, going forward and choosing a word for 2025 because it did work out really, really well. So I am super pumped to do all the things there. So, what I want to, actually, we're going to pause. Business stuff. Otherwise, I will say that I say we, I'm going to be making some changes in 2025. I have some plans down the road, if you will. But I'm doing like a staycation, if you will, or a creatication. I'm laughing. A creatication, over Christmas break. Like that's my break, if you will. So that is what I'm going to be spending my time doing. I am taking 2 different courses for ads. So I am really hoping that end of Q1, I'll be able to add ad services to my bucket of things that I do. I have thoughts and feels about some stuff like on social media about that, meaning like the skills that I have within my business and like how anyway, that will probably be episode number 101. I'm like noting it in my head. But I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. I do think that 2025, the word that I chose, which I will share on the next episode, I think the word that I chose will be super helpful for me as I move into the new year, and it'll get a little personal. And I think that, I was talking to someone, I was having a conversation with a client last week, and she listens to my podcast, so she'll know this is about her, or not about her, but this is in relation to our conversation. And we were talking about someone who brought up that she needs to look and behave in a certain way in order to like get clients for what she wants to get clients for. And she had reached out to me and was like, what do you think about this? And, I obviously spend a lot of time with Shantae, and I've learned from Shantae for God knows how long now at this point. And I can't remember who is credited for saying this. It's not Shantae, it's someone else. I cannot remember. It is, you attract what you are, not what you want. One. So the thing is like the thing that this person was saying was, completely different from what my client it is as a person and how she represents herself. And it was really frustrating to hear that, this person wanted this person to behave in a certain way, and like saying that, you want to make sure you're quote unquote professional, which we won't even dive into that conversation today. But essentially looking and behaving in a certain way. In my mind, I'm like, I've also heard other people say that you shouldn't share personal stuff about yourself, your life, whatever, and if you want to get business clients. And I highly disagree. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because I will get a little bit personal within that episode next week for you, just so you can like really understand like why I'm choosing a certain word for the year and what it means to me within business and life. And, maybe it'll help. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump in. So the reason I'm doing this episode is because I just think that it's really important to understand timelines. And I do think that because, I'm going to use a physical therapist as an example. As a physical therapist or as a chiropractor, typically you have availability, right? So you have a set availability of a set schedule. Shantae will always use the example of a dentist. And I honestly yes, I'm on board with it because dentists have like zero availability. I got a call 2 weeks ago for a dentist appointment that I scheduled in 2022, not 2023 or 24, 2022, because it was in New Hampshire, and they were like, "Hey, I have an appointment for you tomorrow." And I was like, I literally don't even live there anymore. I made this appointment in, I think it was like October of 2022. So like thinking about that, I was a new patient and they didn't have availability for until my first appointment, the first available was December of 2024. That's 2 years. 2 years. Insanity. I mean, like, I get it. It was a small town, small practice, whatever. Like, I could have went somewhere else, but just putting that out there, it's wild to me that is the going availability for a dentist. Now, out here where I am, like, I just went to a cash-based dentist or private pay, fee for service, whatever, dentist out here, and they have pretty fast availability. So I was pretty impressed with that. But anyway, what I'm getting at here is availability. So I think one of the things is I feel like this episode's going to turn into be like, don't be urgent. The biggest thing that what I say on calls, and anybody who's been on a discovery call will tell you this, is that I will let people think about what they want to do for however long it takes them to think about what they want to do. So what I mean by that is I am never giving off an urgent energy. Like, I need to book you this month. I need to book you next month. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you're getting the service on a timeline that makes sense for both of us. Because if I fit you in on my schedule, right, I have like rush fees, urgent fees, fit me in fees. I do have that because some people are like, I don't care. I will pay whatever it takes to get this done next week. But when it comes to scheduling things and understanding like, okay, how much time should I budget for this? It's one of those things where it's like, if you come into anything with an urgent energy saying like, for example, with my services, it's like, I need a website next week, or I need to increase my clientele next week and I want you to help me with SEO. Those things aren't really attractive. And granted, I'm not a coach, so I'm not coaching you through this, but I'm giving you a service. So whether it's SEO services, website services, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're delivering a service that is fucking good. Like, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to have this thing next week and it's going to put me in a mental situation where I'm like, I have so much work to do and now I'm tired, now I'm exhausted. I don't want to do it. So like, while I say I have rush fees, I also want to be incredibly clear that it's still fitting into my working schedule. I'm not pulling an overnighter or an all-nighter to get your work done. Like, it's definitely still within my working schedule. It's just, it means that I am adding things to my Friday, because if you've listened to this podcast for a decent chunk of time or follow me in any way, you probably know that I have Fridays that are my flex day. So I will fit it into a Friday, right? So whether that's no longer my time, that is now working time. So with that being said, I don't have the direct quote and it would take me forever to find it, but Jill Fit had put up a post about this on Threads the other day, basically saying that, it's not attractive to have urgent energy when you're on a call with someone, be it coaching, because she was referring to coaching services, right? And one of the things that she said after that, she said, it's like the people, like, imagine if someone came in and was like, I want to do X, Y, and Z. So if we're like in the nutrition space, it might be lose a bunch of weight, or if it's in the fitness space, you might want to like gain however many pounds of muscle by tomorrow. And so it's the same expectation there, right? So we want to make sure that people are setting themselves up for success, and also that we're setting the expectation that this is what it will take to succeed, or this is what it will take to get the result that you want. So what the whole point of this was, and what I want to say is, I fully respect that people, like, we're all busy as hell. Like, everyone is busy. I don't even have kids, like true children. We have a dog and a cat, but we don't have kids, right? So I understand everyone who has kids, multiple sports, one sport, whatever, you're providing for someone who can't provide for themselves. Like, I can understand that your schedule is probably crazy. And I always think about that in terms of like, when I didn't have responsibilities as like, let's just say, quote unquote, an adult, we can really, think about the time that we did have. And then when that kind of flip-flops and you don't have that time, we all are under the same type of pressure, the same type of schedule, the same type of, time constraints, if you will. And there are only so many hours in the day. So if you're working full time, if you're managing your own business, like, we are all so busy. So just understand that, at any given time, I understand that people are like, I just sat down and audited my website and I need a new one. I'm going to schedule a call. Like, I respect that 100%. The difference is that when you do reach out to schedule, or if you're scheduling with anybody, it doesn't have to be me, but if you're looking for coaching services, whatever, ideally, we're all approaching the same conversation with, it takes as long as it takes. And it might be 2 months from now that you're scheduling in, it might be a month from now, but typically we're honoring, and I have a podcast episode about this, about your process, but we're honoring each other's process. We're honoring, how long it actually takes to get the result that you want. And if I want to spin it back to SEO, right? One of the biggest things, and one of the biggest red flags that I have, or that I will, take a note for, is that if someone is like, I need to increase traffic tomorrow so that I can get more money, and I would like you to help me with SEO, that's a huge red flag for me, because I can't deliver that service, right? So I would never say like, yes, let's do it. That sounds great. I would, obviously educate her on the fact that that doesn't happen. That's not realistic. And we can't do that in that time period. And I would be doing you a disservice, or as Jill Fit would say, I would be operating out of my integrity to tell you that that is possible. And it all comes back to just going into conversations of hiring someone else or hiring someone to do something for you. Or if you are doing something for someone else, whether it's physical therapy, whether it's acupuncture, whatever you're doing for someone else, and just understanding that you know how long things take, you know how long it takes you to provide that outcome. And regardless of if you're the person hiring or the person accepting a service or doing the service, honor that process and honor how long it actually takes. And when it comes to scheduling, know that you got a budget for more time than a week, or more time than 2 weeks, more time than a month. Most people, I would say, especially I would speak to like website, SEO, what have you areas, it's not going to be next week that it happens, right? And like we can all kind of wrap our heads around the fact that it would be kind of alarming to say like, yes, I can make that happen tomorrow if I told you that about SEO. And that would honestly like go against every value that I have to ever say that. But just going back and honoring the time that it takes to do things and the time that it really does take to get in on someone's schedule. So that way we're all setting ourselves up for success. And at the end of the day, we're all getting the result that we want. So that's really all I had for you today. I just wanted to touch on that because, I did have a question. Like I said, the person that I was talking to about this, and I've been on a couple discovery calls lately. And then, when I get onto a discovery call, or when someone schedules a discovery call with me and it's literally in January, I'm like, thank you. Like, you're willing to wait that long. Like, I get it. It's a long time. And also like, there's a whole other, side of this of like what my service looks like and why my availability is very slim, right? Because I have a retainer service. But regardless, like I don't take it lightly when someone scheduled a discovery call that far in advance. But also knowing like it's kind of like a restaurant, right? So if you have 4 personal training clients and you have the availability for 4 personal training clients, if you have a discovery call for a personal training client on Friday, but you don't have the availability for 5 clients, you're going to have to tell that person, hey, I don't have availability. I'll get back to you. Right. And like that is also honoring your process, honoring your time, and also telling them they're not going to get muscles in 2 days. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox because this is a lot longer than I thought it would be. I will be recording, like I said, episode number 100 next. Super, super excited. And also 100 already. That's wild. Hopefully you will tune in for that one. But until then, I will catch you next time.